crushing the flanks here. And they're right out here as well. Look at those there. Oh, that's an amp. Look at that. My damn, they are gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt. That is gonna hurt a lot. That's why I loathe them. We've got to thread the needle here. We've got to thread the needle. Look at those hussars there. They were hidden. Let's get. Excellent, lads. Greetings and welcome to episode 140 of my Empire Total War Darth mod USA campaign, and this, my friends, is how we left it last time, where we once again find ourselves on the Eastern Front facing the might of Russia, and they really have been incredibly active here on this front, to the point where we're actually having to detach units from the west and indeed from the south, heading towards sort of the Hungarian front, to the east to be able to deal and contain with the Russian threat here. And of course, further east we have a huge build-up of Russian troops around the city of Vilnius, which we are trying to aim for, but at the moment I don't think it'll be possible to break through into Vilnius and take the city and hold it at the same time with the sheer amount of Russian troops available. Now, we have had some wonderful advice from the Council, particularly that we should actually detach the Marine Corps from the Hungarian front. We do have plenty of troops here. We are, of course, at peace with Germany for now. Of course, that peace will only be of limited time, because we all know for a fact that Germany absolutely loathes and detests us. So we are going to detach the Marine Corps from the Hungarian front. It will be replaced by another army, and then we have been, some wonderful advice, I said, from the Council, to actually use the Marine Corps to assault Riga. As you can see, Riga here, to take that first step to sort of have a bridgehead, a beachhead within Russian territory itself, perhaps to even draw troops away from this particular frontier, this what is the Warsaw, sort of Polish-Russian front. Maybe pull some forces away, leaving that perhaps that gap, that weakness in their lines that we can exploit here with this very powerful army group that we've assembled here to the north of the sort of front line here. We've also got another army group moving up, as I said, from the Hungarian front, detached, because Munich has fallen, so it's been detached from that sort of Munich front, that previous Munich front, and has been moved in. But of course the distances involved are vast, so we're talking at least a couple of weeks for that army group to arrive. Remember, they've got sort of cannon as well to be brought in. And even the Marine Corps will need a sizable port to be able to embark from. Because of course you're talking a full Marine Corps, our absolute finest troops, the absolute pinnacle of our fighting forces, the elite of our fighting forces are going to be detached. That's quite a gap we're going to be leaving in the Hungarian front. But it's when we have to do. The immediate threat here to us is Russia. If Russia breaks through and takes Warsaw, we will be in a lot of trouble, my friends, because effectively our sort of eastern front, our eastern territories will have a huge gap in them. The economy of the east will effectively collapse because Warsaw really is the absolute buttress. It is the anchor from which the Eastern Front has been held and continues to hold now. But you can see here we have also brought, at the behest of the Council as well, we've brought a number of Russian ports under siege. As you can see here, but St. Petersburg is also heavily defended. The Russians are not leaving anything to chance. But as you can see here now, we do have a tremendous fight on our hands here. But the Russian forces aren't in the best of shape here. They do, of course, have a full complement of guards who are, dare we say, very, very tough fighters indeed. We've also got Grenadier Guards, but they're not at full strength either. Of course, we've got the Streltsy as well, who are pretty fierce in the charge, and indeed the melee attack is quite high here, as you can see. But as you can see, every single unit, bar this one, is not at full strength. Every single one is taking a hammering here. And the reason is because the Russian economy is starting to fall into disrepair. We've put a stranglehold effectively on the Russian economy. But apart from the Crimea is still open. But unfortunately we are tied down with fighting with the Ottomans, who don't want peace at all. So there might be a chance where we have to... First of all, we've got to give the Ottomans a bloody nose to sort of bring them to the peace table. Perhaps we could detach a sort of an army group from Ankara, which is our stronghold in sort of that area, and then attack the Crimea. But the Crimea is absolutely jam-packed with Russian forces. It really is absolutely to the teeth. They're armed to the teeth, the Crimea, because of course it is a major port. It is the major port for the Russians. So we've got a heck of a fight on our hands, we really do. But let's begin with this fight here. As you can see, thankfully we managed to get most of our troops, not all, as you can see. All of these armies are in a state of disrepair in terms of not all the forces are at full strength. But fortunately we were able to bring at least the regiments here up to full strength. Not all the cavalry, as you can see here, but the majority of them are at full strength. Now, you have to remember, my friends, this is not going to be a one-off attack by the Russians. This force will move in if this force gets defeated, and I can assure you another one will follow, and another one will follow. They're going to keep hammering away here to try to break this sort of village we hear, this stronghold we have here in the village. It is going to be a brutal, brutal fight. And I think, as you can see, luckily we've got nearly just over 6,000 in reinforcements, but I can guarantee you most of these will be pulled into the fight. As you can see, all of them have taken down. Look at the cavalry here. There's virtually no cavalry left. That's the scale of the fight on our hands. We've got 194, 147 men here. I think, as you can see again, we're not at full strength either. We just haven't had the chance, the opportunity to really pull these forces around. I think we'll have this army here at the forefront, and I think we'll bring in this cavalry here first, because that's going to be the greatest benefit to us, is to have that cavalry coming in. The guns can go last. 225 here. We've got a couple of regiments that have been able to reinforce to their previous states. As you can see, we've got some really veteran units here. But we have to be vigilant here. We can't throw these troops away because we're going to be hit constantly by the Russians here. Let's get everything into full. This army really has taken a fierce beating, and so is this one. These two armies aren't really going to be... They're going to be useful. We've got 105 there. That's not too bad. But some of these units are going to take, are going to be decimated. In fact, I would say these two armies, if we get hit again and again and again, these two armies are probably going to be completely decimated. And going to either be completely destroyed, or they're going to take many, many months to repair and replenish. The cavalry is... I don't think these cavalry know it. I think we'll have... Once these horse come in here. Let's bring in these here. And thus... But as you can see, we really are... My goodness me, they've taken a beating here. But look at the 217 men. These cannon alone will probably be able to defend themselves quite vigorously. Let's just bring these gentlemen in here. Oh, look at that. We've got a full complement of long riflemen, which is going to prove... I think the cannon will actually be important at this stage. Let's do this correctly. Let's do this absolutely by the book. Let's have the cavalry coming in. Then these gentlemen here. Last but not least, as you can see, again, but not too sharp. The cavalry here, the cuirassiers have been decimated. Bringing them in, we've got to use every single resource we have. What are you doing, man? We've got every single resource has to be used here. We've got to hold on until we get those reinforcements in. I mean, look, they've been decimated. There's no point whatsoever in having these coming onto the field. First and foremost, it'll be completely pointless. Not pointless, not useless. That may be a bit harsh on my judgment there of them. As you can see, right, that's what we're going to do. We've got to. Well, these gentlemen have to do as much damage as possible. They've got to hold here, and we've got to sort of really defend really, really hard here. Right, let's begin the first battle here. As you can see, it's in our favour, but that doesn't really count for anything in the long run. Let's take this fight, my friends. Let's take this fight. This will be a brutal, brutal battle, and it'll be a series of battles. So we might not get all of them done in this particular episode, but it's going to be one after another. So the Russians are just going to throw army after army after army, trying to break this sort of Warsaw Polish front. We might even see it crumble. We might even see it break. But if it does, the Russians will have paid a dear price for it. Oh, look at that. We could actually use this to our advantage here. Look at this hamlet here, this small village, and the topography here suits us well. Look at this ridgeline here as well. It is brutally cold. My goodness me, this is a real Eastern Front battlefield. It really is. Look how cold it is, my friends. It's brutally cold here. But we're going to sit right back here on the absolute edge of our defensive line. Look how narrow as well. The deployment zone is incredibly narrow, but we're going to use this village here to break up the advance here on the Russians. But we've got to try and preserve our forces here. Now, I think we'll put these gentlemen in the front line here. This artillery. We've got lots and lots of cuirassiers, not much in terms of line infantry, so we're going to have to hold back the line infantry, keep them tight, compact tight as we can here. We'll put the general here. We don't have a general here. I know the number of the council have asked for names to be. I know there's a 1st Infantry Red Division to be renamed. As soon as the battles are over, I will rename. I can promise you, my friends, that will come. Now, let's keep it very tight, packed. Oh, look at that as well. We have defences here as well, which is excellent. Now, let's keep a really tight, knit, close, packed in defensive line here. Do they have much cavalry? They probably will have a lot of cavalry, but I think they'll probably hit the extremities of cavalry. Now, our cannon here, we've got to do this absolutely by the book here.
Troop, unlimber!
Now, because we've got them out there, I think we might just put... we might just put them behind the barricades here as well to protect them. I know this might be a bit controversial, but we've just got to watch out for everything we've got here. We can't allow anything to get past us, and we've got to look after everything here. So we've got these here. Okay, they're sort of angles are going to be very, very tight, but we've got the howitzers in the back here to really sort of add that depth. Where's the debarkation line? The debarkation line is by here, so we've actually pulled the general back further, and we'll have the cannon. As I said, we've got to keep a very, very tight line here. This regiment here on the left of the guns. Oh, gentlemen, please. Cute. Again, the extremities will probably see the anti-horse stakes going in. That is not bad at all there. Look at that defensive line. We've got to maintain this defensive line. It has to be held here. I know we've restricted our sort of gunfire here, but we just got to look after every single unit here. If the Russians break this here, Warsaw could be under real problems. Now, I think we'll actually put our other foot artillery here. That's more like it. Look at that. If we don't have any light infantry, I wish we had some light infantry to sort of shield this here, but we don't. So we've got to be careful. Look at that. We're ready, sir, for the Russians. Of these gentlemen here, I think we'll have the anti-horse stakes in here. We can probably fit another regiment in on the left flank here. Now, do we keep reserves? That's the key question, but I don't think we can probably afford to do that, because I think we're going to find ourselves under a lot of pressure here from the Russians. We've got 2 regiments here. I think we put these gentlemen on the left here. Again, we can't deploy them, but we could deploy. I wonder if we could deploy them here, put the stakes in front of them here, and then move them out of harm's way once the battle begins. I think that's what we'll do. We'll just put these here, a little bit of maybe to trick the sort of Russians, but also give these a little bit of a protection here. These guns here. We'll move these regiments back out of the way as soon as the battle begins to left and right, so they've got that added protection. Now our howitzers, which are going to be absolutely crucial in this fight. I cannot overstate how vital these are going to be. Let's just move the general over here. We don't want any of them hitting the trees here, so perfect. Now again, we won't restrict these.
Artillery!
Oh, that's right in the trees here. They're going to be awkward. Perfect, absolutely perfect. And we'll bring these gentlemen into together as well. Got to have that. Now we've got proper fire control over them. And our cavalry, which is going to have to be used left and right here. But look at them, absolutely packed to the rafters here with cavalry. It really is our saving grace here, the cavalry. Now we're going to put a regiment of cuirassiers in a defensive position here, and also this regiment here, 58 of cuirassiers, is also going to be pushed here. So we've got those defensive zones, but we're going to have some kind of attacking mobility here. And I think we'll hold back these gentlemen at 84 here. Then again, we do need all of our cavalry out on the field, so we're going to put our cavalry here. It's a very strong. We're going to have left and right here. We've got to take the fight to the Russians. We've got to do maximum damage to them as well. Here, they're going to really pack a punch here on both flanks. I think we're good to go here, my friends. I think we can begin this battle now. My goodness me, it's going to be a brutish battle. We've got a very tight, compact area here. Let's begin. Oh, wait a minute. My goodness me, they're there. They're over there. Well, that's caught us on the hop. Got to readjust our lines here, but we're not going to be. We're not going to be caught. That's really altered. That's adjusted. Everything here has got to be changed. Wow. I was not expecting that to be over here. But again, we're not going to panic. We're just going to keep control here. Oh, look at that. Discipline is going to be key here. Absolutely key. Now, let's bring these gentlemen over to this forest here. We could be able to catch them on the hop. Let's see what they're made of. Let's see what they're made of here. Oh, that's a beautiful shot, sir. My compliments to the chef. We've adapted, we've changed, we've manoeuvred. As you can see here, we've got to be prepared to strike down in the flanks here of them. Let them just take care of themselves here. Oh, look at that. They don't like it. They don't like it up and they don't like it up sir. Oh, this gentleman, this is not a stroll move. Going straight for the cannon. Got to hold firm here. Hold firm, gentlemen. Yeah, look how we've lost them. God, our foot artery's gone already. That cavalry charge absolutely blitzed us there. That's more like it, gentlemen. They've gone. Of course, now we've lost that flank there. Lost the guns here. Got to close the door on here. bit of reinforcements there. Now we strike. They've gone, sir. Oh, look at this, it's a bloodbath, sir. We will strike hard and fast, sir. Look at that. Just a wave over them. Oh, that's... Oh, right down the throat there. Shatter them, lads, shatter them. Time to put an end to this. Not give them any leeway at all. Look lively, lads, look lively. Of course they've broken. They broke, of course they've broken. Shatter them, man, shatter them. They've gone. Now we thread the needle there between all those defences there. There's nothing left. That was just but the first battle. That was a heck of a fight, sir. Yes, of course. Heroic victory. That was a real tough fight. That's only the first. That's the only first battle here. We lost 410 men, lost 2,100, 136 men left. Look at that. Look at the line, look at the 24 pounder. Wonderful. We lost that one regiment though. That's going to be a real kick that is in the teeth there. Look at that, down to 4 men. Gosh, we give them a real thrashing there. Will they come in? Yes, they will. Look at that, they come in again. And there it is, but not, yeah, now they've got a couple of regiments at full strength here. That's a couple of full strength regiments. We are going to really struggle here. They're going to come in one after the other after the other. We're going to take this fight as well, my friends. We're going to take this fight as well. The same thing stands. Are they? No, they're not. These gentlemen here. Once again, let's prepare ourselves here. We cannot slack here on what we're doing. We must maintain our discipline here. He's effectively gone, hasn't he, really? Actually, we'll put this gentleman here. There and there. Oh, look at that, actually 194 here. That's more like it. That army should be enough to hold this one off, but they're not. But they've got 3 full regiments here. 338 men, that's going to be tough. 250 there. They've got nearly 3,000. You need nearly 2 to 1 the odds there. And they got plenty of cavalry, including cuirassiers as well. Again, our cavalry did well there in that last fight. Let's take the fight again. As you can see, he's starting to slowly etch towards... Not towards dominating us, they're not going to do that. But it's going to cost us dear, but then we're going to absolutely bleed them dry if we've got to. We've got this army standing here, we might have to break down and sort of hit the neck of this Russian offensive here. Let's begin another battle here. As our forces deplete, we're not able to replenish and sort of bring extra units in from elsewhere until the Russians have done what they want to do. It's going to be a tough fight here. Very tough indeed. This is a cold day. But again, we find ourselves in the same place. Will the Russians come from that flank there? We have to be prepared, sir. It's as simple as that. But again, we're gonna fall right back here to defences. Put our general here. We're going to deploy in the same way. Have this regiment here at the right at the forefront here. We're going to sort of do what we did before. Keep our forces in the same way here, but just we've only got 4 men here on the guns. Look at that, just 1 gun, but still, we mustn't complain. We must use everything that we have at our disposal here. Oh, gentlemen, please, you can surely do better than this. That's more like it, thank you. Actually, we might take these gentlemen off here and just give them free rein. Then again, I do prefer them just for this particular battle be in here. Just give them a sort of a modicum of protection here. Particularly when they're in the air and they're firing against us. It did protect these quite well here against the incoming fire. I think we might just put our artillery more to the right than to the left last time. We've got... That's our main force here. Let's put these gentlemen here. Actually, these gentlemen here on the right. And we'll actually put our artillery here. Let's put anti-cav stakes in here. That's what really hit us hard last time, was the cavalry. And again, we're going to be doing this here. Again, just going to protect us. Just even, as I said, a modicum of protection here. Got to keep that fire support going now. We've got these gentlemen here as well who performed admirably last time. And again, we're going to keep them close to the here so they can support. Let's put them here, right in the open here, so we've got that support there. Keep them as independent attachment here, these. Again, not shrapnel shot. We want quick lime. That's a brute quick lime. And we're going to need to have a regiment here on this flank here. As you can see, we can't quite put them where they need to be, but once the deployment ends, we will put them where they need to be. Okay, so we've got 185 men here, which we will put on the left flank here. Now, no, not close enough to their comrades here. Wonderful. We're going full cavalry here. The cavalry last time almost broke us. 132 men, which we'll have here on the left. Let's bring them in a little bit closer. That's more like it. And again, anti-cavalry. They're on the right there. 171 men here, which I think we'll just try and keep in reserve. Actually, we'll put them. We'll try and keep them on reserve here. We'll put them on the left flank here, in reserve. What we could do is put them here, and again have the anti-cav stakes just in front, just to give that modicum of protection. We have anybody else out here in the? No, we don't. The cuirassiers did perform magnificently there. Again, we'll put these gentlemen here on the right, and then we've got this force here, which is looking a little bit worse for wear, but still a good strong force here of cavalry on the left. We might be able to wheel around depending on where the enemy is. We've got this force here which we can redeploy. This one will be deployed better, much better here. We've got these howitzers as well behind the line here, just giving that extra fire support. We've got to hold these Russian attacks here as long as we can. We might even get, I know we won't get any reserves coming in just yet. Let's end the turn. They're coming from that flank again, sir. Oh my goodness me, they're right by there. Come on, lads. Go huzzahs there. Do apologise about that, my friends. Oh, that's a wonder. Keep the fire on them, lads. need them. Oh, look at that. They've taken heavy casualties there. What the blazes are you gentlemen doing? Oh, that's a wonderful shot there, sir. My compliments to the chef. Oh, they've been absolutely decimated. Absolutely decimated. Nothing must survive this. Nothing, sir. Oh, they've been shattered. If you want to fight, sir, then we'll oblige. Excuse me a second, my friends. I do apologise, my friends. As you can tell, someone wanted to go out. Where are we now? Let's take the fight to them, sir. Just ready, preparing. We're just going to meet them at absolute score. Good grief, that's a lot there. We've got to take these armies here. Can't get bogged down with these stealthy here, they'll absolutely destroy us. Oh, look at that, they've gone. They've gone, sir. There's a lot of line infantry coming in here. We've got to pull them apart here. That's it, well done, lads, well done. Pulling away from the field here, we want to draw them out here if possible. Come on, shatter them, lads. That's it, well done. Get into the light. Get into them, lads. What the... Get into them, lads. We've got the general, sir. They've thrown absolutely everything that is here. Come on, get that general. Yes, he's broken, sir. Don't break the line. Oh, gentlemen. Oh, they don't like it. Cut them down. Cut them down, lads. They want to fight them, we'll oblige. Look at this, the cavalry, the cuirassiers have performed miraculously here. They just can't resist. Look at this, the defence here has been absolutely a wonder to watch. Get into them, lads. Don't give them time to settle. Look at that. Absolutely overrun. Shat, they've got. I mean, that is an absolute blitzkrieg here. What a fight that's been. Look at that. That was an absolute... Oh, what a wonder. Yes, of course. Heroic victory, of course, sir. Now that, my friends, was an absolute wondrous fight there. We lost 400... They lost 2,664 men for the loss of 425. This army here has excelled. It is absolutely excelled. It's just... It's killed... What? Oh, nearly 6,000 men. Look at the kills here. It's a wonder. There will be another battle here, my friends. I can absolutely assure you. Perhaps not. Have they seen fit not to come forth again? Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh. Well, there it is. There it is. Persia now declares war upon us. Bringing our total number of enemies is just... Look at the enemies we got. Look at them. And now Persia's added to that. And they're very friendly towards us. What is going on here? That's fine. We shall take that. Norway and Britain join us in that fight. If you want to fight, sir, then we'll oblige. We don't back it down from anyone, sir. But it looks like Baghdad is definitely going to be attacked. Baghdad will definitely be attacked. That's what they're going. That's what they want. They don't want... Ah, there it is. They want Baghdad. Absolutely guarantee you it. Spain? Oh, wait a minute. What? Look at Portugal, absolutely packed to the rafters with troops here. Got to keep an eye on Spain here and what they're up to. Oh, what was that? That was the weakest French attack I think I've ever seen. But my goodness me, we gave the Russians a damn good thrashing there. Sweden. Oh, where do you go with that? Where are you going with that for, Sweden? Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. Though they're attacking Britain. Looks like Norway's pulling back here. And it wants no part. What's going on there? Which is fair enough. Saxony, excellent. Now we shall begin to invest here fully. Right, that's trade is cancelled there. That's only just there, but -1. Look at that. +2 command when leading cavalry units. +1 in morale battles. -1 there. Rumours of cowardice? I don't think so, sir. That's excellent. So we've got that there being brought to full strength. We've got this here, which we are going to bring back again up to full strength. Now Venice, we're still at war with Venice, but we've got to simply bring all of these up to full here. I brought all of this force here, but where are the Marines?
Yes, sir. Ready for order.
Not there. That's a very strong force there. We're going to show each of our enemies that we are not going to be moved here at all. Now, where are the Marines?
Sir. Your orders at the ready. Yes, sir.
We've got some very strong forces here on the front.
Your humble sir. Ready for order. Sir.
There it is. There it is. The Marine Corps is being moved to the nearest port. Now, the nearest port to be able to handle the Corps is here. Gdynia. So we're heading to Gdansk. We're going to take the council's advice.
Forward.
We're going to move the Marine Corps out. We're going to move this force here instead. A good strong force there. But again,
Forward.
as I say, we're going to replace like with like here. But we've got, look at that, we've got a lot of German forces here. We've got this force here as well, which is going to be moving here. As you can see, look at that. It packs a real punch. Wait a minute. Of course, they're the Legion of the United States. We're heading to Gdansk. We are going to move in against Riga. We don't know what's in Riga. And we've got this force as well here, which is actually going to be joining here, along this front here.
March.
There's a strike force. I wonder if we can just quickly have a look what's in Riga.
Yes, Captain. Ship's
Nothing
orders.
at all. Nothing that's going to stop the Marine Corps. Not a beam is going to stop the Marine Corps moving in here. Let's move this gentleman. What's we got in here?
Aye, aye, sir.
We can join that fleet there. It
Officer
can.
on deck. Ship's orders, Captain.
Nothing in coming out of here of Greece. Now Poland is moving back here. Norway, I beg your pardon. I don't know why. What has happened for that to take place? We've got France here. There's also been a call for us to possibly move in and take Archangel as well. But I think we're going to go with the other plan the council has put and bring Riga under our control. That would really put us right on the doorstep there of St. Petersburg. But if they move these armies down to attack the Marine Corps, but then again the Marine Corps would be in these defences here, which would the Marine Corps would probably hold up all of these attacks here. And of course we are then beginning to replenish and repair these forces. What's our income now? 91 is dropped because of the Persian. For some reason Persia is not like what we've done here. We're going to begin moving these forces up much closer. Let's take these gentlemen out of here. We can move through the city then.
Anything more? Ready for order. At the ready. Yes, sir.
They can move into the city
For crown and country. Yes.
and they can move on to the other side then once they've moved through the city. This
Men.
This army group is moving up to the front. Gave the Russians a real thrashing there, didn't we? A real thrashing. And we're at peace here. Let's move into the...
Troops! Immediately! Any further orders? By the left! March!
Now we are starting to amass forces here. We've got to bring all of these gentlemen up here to full strength. Ah, 405,000, but my goodness me, they've earned their stripes there many times over. Again here, let's bring all of these forces up to full strength here. As quickly as possible. They've earned that right. It costs us a few shillings, but still, as we just said, they've earned that right to do so. We'll move this army back into position as soon as this army group has moved through the city of Warsaw. Remember, Warsaw is the absolute key here. Why isn't this army seeing any replenishment here at all? 6,000 to bring these gentlemen up to full strength. What about the city in Breslau here, this army here? Again, we mustn't neglect our forces. They have fought and therefore they have earned the right to be replenished and repaired. As you can see, we've now brought up a considerable amount here. And again, none of these gentlemen here. Actually, this army is at full strength here. Not too bad. Most of our armies are in good shape here.
Your humble servant. Yes.
Because I've got a feeling that probably it's going to be Venice that are going to move against Munich. And we've got to be prepared for that. So we've still got 50,000 in the bank here. We've got a good selection of troops here along the border with Spain. Got this force here which doesn't need to be loitering about inside the city of Nuremberg. So I think what we will do is we'll start moving this force in here. This is the weak point here in the Spanish line, right here. If we could take Strasbourg right off the bat here. We're actually going to move in a force much closer to here into Strasbourg here. Stuttgart. We want them to be in here if possible. This army is also, but we can't. Actually, we could probably have that as a. And they're also going to convert these into economic buildings. Now that we've lost that pact with Persia. If they want to fight, then we'll oblige. We gave them a real bloody nose here, didn't we? A real bloody nose here. And we need to go back to Vilnius. We've got a spy here. Oh, I think we're gonna probably go down to the Kiev, to the Ukraine here. Oh ho ho ho! Wow! Look at that. The Russians are absolutely. Do you know where they've come from? They've come from the Crimea. I can absolutely bet your bottom dollar they've come from the Crimea. It is well defended. My goodness me, they've got some troops at their disposal. They could come through here and give us a lot of trouble here. We need to reinforce this border considerably. I think we're going to have to recruit here. Let's get infantry. All infantry to start with here. My goodness me, what a. Oh, we've also got to get these gentlemen back up to full strength here.
Ready and awaiting order.
And we'll bring this gentleman here, back here to Vilnius. Let's see what they've still got in Vilnius. Oh, that's a well defended city right there. That will be a tough nut to crack right there, but if we could take Vilnius, it would give us the ability not only to threaten Minsk if the Germans move on against us as well, but we could strike upwards against St. Petersburg, and if we take Riga with the Marine Corps, we could effectively dislodge the Germans from the north here, control the Baltic in its entirety, but also threaten the German holdings here. in the Russian territories here. Particularly Minsk, that we then move on to Kiev and ultimately to Moscow. That would spell the doom of the Russians, and that's all they've got. They've got Archangel up here, but the rest is all German, deep in the Urals here. And now, of course, we've got Persia to deal with. Now, can we replenish these here? Yes, we are replenishing them. That's excellent to see. But recruitment is, dare we say, not at its finest. We're going to probably have to... We can use guerrilla mercenaries. I think that's going to be probably our best bet there. We're already starting to convert things here. Let's get all this up and running. Look at that. They're going to go straight for this here, and they're going to go for that there. Hit that there as well. Hopefully we can begin to replenish and repair these. My goodness me, that's 4. No, we can't do that just yet because there's too many of these. But we are going to give them a bloody nose here. We need to take the fight to them here. Oh, look at that. That's a pretty powerful force right there. But I think we're going to take the fight to them.
Ready for order.
Let's do that. Let's give the Ottomans a bloody nose. Maybe this will bring them to the negotiating table. But, my friends, we're going to end this episode right there. We're going to take the fight to the Ottomans. We need to give them a bit of a, as I said, a bit of a bloody nose. Let them know we're still around. Not going to get away with all these things here. We're going to start clearing away from our ports. Maybe that'll bring them to the peace table. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode, my friends. Thank you all of you for your wonderful support and your advice. It really has guided this campaign fantastically. I know that some of your advice hasn't been implemented in this particular campaign because we've just had so many battles to do. But as soon as we get some breathing space, all of your plans, all of your tactics, all of your strategies will be implemented. I can promise you, my friends. Please keep them coming down in the comments. They are absolutely fantastic to read. Brilliant strategies, brilliant tactics. I like all of you for your wonderful support. It's just outstanding. The support for each campaign has just been incredible. It really does, and it means a lot to me. It really does. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode, my friends. Whatever you're doing, please be safe. But until next time, bye for now.